So the theme of the weather this week is the much cooler temperatures, which have been a relief to many across the country. Now, broadly, we do have high pressure in charge currently, but all eyes are on this area of low pressure moving in from the west. And it looks like it's going to cross the country late on Sunday into the early part of next week. And it looks like it will bring rain to western parts of the country and the northwest in particular. Now, there's some uncertainty on this currently. It does look like the south is going to receive very little rain on this weather system. Now, moving into the middle part of next week, some models are indicating this small area of low pressure moving into the south, which could be rain bearing. But there's lots of uncertainty on this currently. The American GFS model, for instance, doesn't show any rainfall on this small weather system. So that's the broad picture for the week. Let's have a deeper dive on the fishing forecast across the country. So starting with the national overview, and this is our Fishing Opportunity Index, which gives a meteorological indication of how good the fishing is going to be currently and how it's going to be next week. Now, this is showing the same pattern across all 7 regions. We're moving from a state of average conditions. This is a result of the higher pressure and the warmer temperatures that have been experienced recently. And as this weather system starts to move across the country into the early part of next week, the indications are this is going to lead to much better fishing conditions. So in this video, we're going to focus on these top 3 regions for a deeper dive. So starting with Wales and the Welsh Borders. Now, the situation here is that the warmth load has been moderately high, and the catchment load, it's nudged off zero, so there has been some rainfall across the region, which has helped in certain cases. It's been very localised, though, and hasn't really had a significant effect on the water bodies, particularly the rivers, which are in desperate need of some rainfall by now. We'll look at those in a moment. Now, the synoptic index, it's not noted there, but it's been showing high pressure, and that in combination with the thermal load, the warmth load, has produced this average index rating. Now, the forecast for the next 7 days, well, it starts off quite sunny across the region, temperatures down on what they have been, and the temperatures actually remain in the low to mid 20s for the whole week. Now, as that weather system starts to move in, cloud does increase, and then there is some rainfall indicated from Tuesday onwards. Note also the dropping pressure here indicated on the line chart. So it's generally looking like an improving picture for the fishing across this region. But in terms of the rainfall, there's lots of uncertainty here. And as I said before on our channel, we do take the average and the spread across 7 different weather models, and this gives the indication here. In fact, there's also a pressure spread there on pressure, a large pressure spread moving into Thursday, and that's indicating this uncertainty that I indicated on the maps earlier of exactly how the synoptic pattern is going to play out at the end of the 7-day period. But looking at the rivers now, it's not a good picture. Rivers are low. Okay, there's only a small sample in this, but river-wise low, and that's in terms of the typical range, and in terms of the percentile, which gives an indicator of seasonality in the river levels. And the percentile is the flow is below the 15th percentile. So in desperate need of some rainfall there in order to improve the fishing. But as I said on previous videos, fish can still be had in these conditions. It's a matter of knowing the rivers well and targeting certain areas, particularly weir pools and the deeper stretches if you can find them. Now, the next 7 days in terms of the index, we're moving to this good situation as a result of these weather systems that are having a positive influence, and then that's an increasing trend as we move throughout the week. And the model agreement on this is good. Now, moving to the Midlands, slightly higher warmth load here. Again, very small amounts of rainfall, so that's just nudged this catchment load up slightly. Again, it's an average picture currently across the region. Now, the forecast conditions broadly similar to Wales. We're moving to more cloudy conditions. Temperatures slightly higher here, perhaps nudging up to 27 on Monday. Nighttime temperatures, well, they're quite comfortable by now, and we're getting longer night periods, moving out of high summer. The pressure, as that system moves over, the pressure is dropping to a low on Tuesday. And it looks like there will be some rainfall across this region. Again, it's debatable exactly how much will fall, and it's a matter of staying tuned to the forecast nearer the time to have a look at that. Again, here there's this spread on pressure on Thursday, so much uncertainty about the weather moving to the later part of next week. Rivers, well, the general figure is that is normal. Now, this is against the Environment Agency's typical range, which is a fixed threshold. What I've also got here, as I mentioned in the previous for the previous region, is the percentile, and this is a seasonally varying value. So we're down to the 28th percentile. So the rivers are down across this region, but they could be a lot worse. Although noting this, the 7 is 7 in certain parts is going into this low category. So I think the story here is that it's not great on the rivers across the Midlands, but it could be worse. Now, the next 7 days, it's the same pattern as all other regions across the country. We move into this good state, and for this region, there's high agreement across the models. Now, the third region we're looking at is the northwest. The warmth load here currently is down on other regions. Catchment load, so there's been slightly more rainfall across the northwest recently, which has bumped that index up, but there has been high pressure in charge as well. So again, the feeding index today, based on the previous 10-day aggregation, is in the average category. But I think those cloudy conditions have probably helped. We don't have a measure for that in the index currently. That's probably helped out for certain fisheries. Now, the forecast conditions here, there's still the chance of rain showers around even today across the northwest. Temperatures are a lot lower than they have been recently, down to 18 highs for the next couple of days, moving up slightly into next week, but remaining around the low 20s, and a much higher rainfall risk here. Again, there's this drop in pressure with this low on particularly this local low on Tuesday. Again, there's a rainfall spread there, also a wind speed spread, which is interesting to see. So again, just reinforcing this message that there is quite a lot of uncertainty moving into the middle and end of next week in terms of the forecast. Rivers, well, I think the small amounts of rainfall have helped across certain regions, certain rivers. Other rivers are low, but again, that rainfall coming next week will help the situation. And the next 7 days in terms of the index, again moving into the good category, this dip in pressure could be one to look out for certain species. Now, the other regions, again, it's the same picture really. We're moving from this average situation to much better fishing potential. Although across the south, it looks like we're not going to get very much rain off these weather systems moving in. So the drought conditions, particularly affecting the rivers, is going to be a problem moving into as we go into next week. So that's the atmospheric angling weather forecast for the next 7 days. As always, do check out our website where you'll find much more information, the full details on all regions, and the spread across the models, which is unique to our site. And stay tuned for the next video.